Hey you guys, make sure you check out my exclusive interview with Daniel Hawkins. I mean, he slays everybody from Fantasia, Marlo Hampton, Tamar Braxton, Nene Leakes. I mean, the list just goes on, and he definitely has an eye for fashion. And you guys are going to get a lot of wisdom out from him today.
I go hard. Yeah, what's mine? Hey, what's mine? I'm a star.
I'm Daniel Hawkins, and I watch my girl, Kat Harvey, on Success, Nothing Less.
Hey, what's up, world? I'm Kat Harvey, CEO of KatHarveySNL, Success Nothing Less. Today, I am so hyped to have an icon with us today. He needs no introduction. He's an entrepreneur. He's a fashion stylist and celebrity stylist. He styled everybody from Marlo Hampton, Nene Leakes, Laura Gavard, Fantasia. I mean, I could just go on, and I definitely think he's going to be a global fashion icon, such as Karl Lagerfeld. We all heard of him. So without further ado, please welcome the great Mr. Daniel Hawkins. How you doing?
What's up? How are you?
I'm great. Can you introduce yourself to the world?
Yeah, well, hey world. I am Daniel Hawkins. I am a celebrity stylist. I'm based out of New York and Los Angeles. I have been doing this for about 8 years as a career, and I'm blessed, and I'm happy, and I can't wait for all the things coming up.
So what are your top 2 fashion commandments that you can't break?
Okay, so top 2. I think one of the biggest things is that don't have occasion clothing. And I say that, I mean, don't have clothing set for any specific occasion. I believe in the world of fashion, which kind of leads me to my number 2 commandment. Do as you please. Don't do it for any type of fashion rules. There are no rules in fashion.
Perfect. So, going into clothes, so how do you push your clients, I guess, outside of the comfort zone, when you want to try something new with them without offending their style?
Yeah, totally. I think the biggest thing is to educate as you're styling. So for instance, my first few styling sessions with a new client, I may kind of talk a lot, but the reason I'm talking so much is to educate the client on exactly what I'm doing. Educating them on the designer that I'm putting them in. Educating them on, if I'm doing something that is really hot on the runway, educating them, letting them know that, hey, this is from the current season, or educating them to know that if I'm putting them in a head to toe look from a specific designer, that this is what the designer is known for. So I think in the beginning, it's really important to always educate the client, just so that as time goes on and as you work with each other in the future, they already trust you. So the education builds a big trust factor. So then you don't even have to even question or explain anything in the future, because they already know that you got them.
I know you really love your mom, so I want you to fill in the you said I did.
I do.
So I want you to fill in the blanks. One thing my mom taught me that I will never forget is
to be yourself. One thing my mother has always taught me is to be an individual. I was not I was a good kid, but I was a little different. I wasn't doing the things that the majority of kids my age, especially male kids my age, were doing. And I always had a mother that pushed me and supported any move that I wanted to make. So, always be yourself and remain true to who you are.
Okay, so what's your biggest fashion no-no?
Women wearing the wrong undergarments. That's a no-no. That's a no. That means, from panty lines. You don't want to see panty lines. That goes into wearing the wrong bras. And when I say the wrong bra, there's so many aspects of a bra. There's too much push. There's not enough push. There's bra straps. There's racerback bras. All of those are things that you really have to take into consideration when you're dressing yourself or dressing a client. When you have the wrong undergarment, guess what? The whole look can fail. It goes from 100 to looking amazing. They turn around, you see panty lines. The look is dead.
You had to choose a designer, I guess, to fit, your style, your brand. Who would you choose and why?
I'm gonna go with Alexander McQueen. The reason, well, actually, I'm gonna go with two cat. All right, so Alexander McQueen and Versace. I'll say Alexander McQueen because I'm not a really colorful person. You know, I don't do a lot of color. Not that anything's wrong with it. It's just not. It's not my normal aesthetic. You know, I experiment time to time, but usually I stick to neutral color palettes: grays, blacks, tanned, beige, things like that. And Alexander McQueen always stands true to kind of a darker side of fashion. So I believe that that's where you know, Alexander McQueen picks up in my aesthetic when I'm styling. And then Versace, because Versace is kind of like the epitome of of glamour. You know, the OG of glamour. And I think for me, for my styling aesthetic, a dark side but with glamour matched together creates Daniel.
So, do you have a favorite moment? And also, to tie in with that, at what point do you remember? Because I'm sure we all remember that, you know what, I'm finally living my dream and this is happening.
It changes every time I get a new client. You know, I remember, it depends on what client it is. You know, I remember with Marlo Hampton, who was my beginning. You know, I remember us attending our first Paris Fashion Week. Boom. You know what I mean? That's one memory that sticks out with a celebrity. You know, Tamar Braxton last year took me on my first tour. You know, so I had embarked on my first tour, getting into tour costumes and dressing background dancers and a band and so on and so forth. So that's a memory with Tamar. Then with Fantasia, you know, I had never done a music video before. Fantasia put me onto her first music video, you know, which was a whole nother memory. So I think it depends on, you know, when you get these new clients, they all introduce new things to you. And I would say, you know, the moment that I thought that I was living my dream is I have to kind of make it present tense. I feel like I'm living my dream every single day.
What's been the hardest part, I guess, of your journey that people don't get to see that you would, kind of, I guess, look out for somebody if they want to be where you're at today?
Definitely. You know, the hardest thing that I have encountered, and I still encounter from time to time now, is, you know, first and foremost, you cannot accept no for an answer. You cannot give up, period, point blank. Especially being, you know, a person of color. I don't see a lot of color, but I am a person of color. The reality of it is, in that, you know, this fashion community, although it is getting better, it can be a little fickle sometimes. So, you know, there are going to be a million doors that are closed in your face, but you have to really realize that I can't give up, because for every door that's closed in your face, there are going to be 2 to 3 doors that are going to open up. You just have to wait, and you have to really try and push through those trying times. So don't give up. Don't give up. And another thing is make sure you have the business part on lock. You know what I mean? It's your business is as only big as you make it, and you have to have all the pieces of the puzzle together. And the business part of it is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle.
What's the ultimate vision, I guess, for yourself and for your brand?
I want to dominate every sector of the beauty and fashion industry. Because as a stylist, there's so much more to just styling. You know what I mean? When you become a creative director for someone's image, shall you say, you're not in control, but you're not only spearheading the makeup artist, but you're spearheading the hairstylist. I want to have beauty products, you know. I want to have products geared towards people, other stylists, from movies to celebrities to whatever, that ensure the proper holding of clothing. I want to do it all. I see my brand being universal in the beauty and the fashion industry, not just specifically to styling.
Have any upcoming products or tours that people should know about?
Yeah, Kat, I do actually. I have there's a lot going on. I stay busy, which is good. I'm in New York at home right now, which I'm very happy to be. I have like a few days off. Tuesday, I'm back at it. But I am we're shooting like 3 music videos this month. My next tour that I will be working on will be starting in January. But of course, since it's starting in January, we start prepping tour costumes and things like that next month. Also, I am working on speaking of what I kind of mentioned earlier about my biggest no-no, was undergarments. So I am working on a line of undergarments for women to my liking, because being in this industry, I find a lot of times there are undergarments that look pretty, to presentation wise, but they don't do exactly what I need. And I have to end up using industrial things that aren't typically meant for the body to achieve what I want to achieve. So my goal with my collection that's coming out is going to be to still make it look nice, but actually make sure that it does what it is supposed to do 100%. I'm doing it to help stylists everywhere, or just to help your average woman everywhere look good under, in her clothing. Because as I said before, undergarments is such a big part of the complete look. So yeah, we'll do a tour. I'm putting it out there now. So if anybody from my team is listening, we'll do a tour when things calm down and once the product launches, from city to city, kind of letting people know, what the product is for and letting them try. I'll send you some, Kat, and you can give me your opinion on it.
Thank you. I was going to ask it because a couple of times, you had to go bare because some things didn't fit right below. So
I got you.
Yes. Well, can you tell the world where they can find and connect with you at?
Follow me on Instagram, and that's at 1-800-DHAWK. So 1-800-DHAWK, DHAWK. You can also go to my website, which is finally going to launch next month after honestly 2 years, because I'm a perfectionist, but it's finally going to launch. It's going to be the place where obviously you can keep up with what's going on with me. You'll be able to find out about my shapewear, go into a blog. So it'll just be anything Danny Hall, which is my brand. Also, I am on Facebook under the same thing, 1-800-DHAWK. And yeah, that's it. That's where you can catch me.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much for your time. Y'all don't know he's a grinder and hustle like myself. We doing this interview on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, and look, I'm telling you, at 11:30 I got an appointment. So I'm like, I gotta get Kat in there. I told Josh, my assistant, let's make this happen.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. You guys make sure you check out Mr. Daniel Hawkins. He's taking over the world, and I'm gonna definitely let you guys know when he releases his product. And I see nothing but great things for you. And I thank you so much.
And big ups to you. You're doing amazing work. So big ups.
Make sure you guys subscribe to KatHarveySNL on YouTube today so we can keep you up to date with what Daniel has going on, and definitely tell you the release of his upcoming products. Stay tuned.